Okay, live with the Estradas -2. I am going solo today. So hopefully I don't screw this up. I have no one to tell me if my audio is working. So I'm just going to go with it. I just want to make sure I'm going live on Instagram as well. So let's get started. I am going to talk to you today about this here. This is my podcast. I don't know. Some of you may know that I do a podcast. It's a little project of mine that I really truly enjoy. Um, my I'll share my big vision a little bit later, but this is sort of my baby. I really, I tell my guests if I could do this for a living full time, I definitely would, and maybe it'll get there. I don't know, but if it doesn't, I'm okay with that too. But people ask me, why another podcast? There's millions of podcasts out there. Um, and it's really all about making the connections to the person on the other end. I feel like I'm a naturally curious person. My kids tease me all the time that, I'll go up and talk to anybody. And it's true. Um, Not that that's because I'm in sales or anything like that, but um, I really want to know about where they came from. What's their background? What have they experienced? What challenges have they faced and overcome? Um, who they are as a person? What do they believe? So those kinds of things that I don't know. Maybe maybe it's not PC to go that deep with people. Um, and some of my guests, um, I don't agree with them politically, or um, I don't agree with them on everything. But it doesn't mean that we can't sit across from each other and have a great conversation, and they can be in the spotlight for an hour or two. And I learned so much from my guests, and I after the show, I sit back, or at the evening time, um I'll watch the show, just watch the recording, mainly to make sure that audio's okay. We've screwed up a couple times where the audio wasn't so good, but my son, who's freaking brilliant about producing these things, and I couldn't do it without you, Nathaniel. So if you're watching today, I know you're out there busy kicking butt, selling houses, but I appreciate you, brother. I love you, and that's another one of these kind of magical things that happens during this podcast is, um, for an hour or two, I get to really connect with my son, and whew, gets me a little choked up, but um, it's sort of our time that we get to create something together, and um, and it comes out onto this YouTube channel that um, has created so much positivity in my life that I thought I'd share with you today. Because every one of these guests, and I'll kind of scroll through here, we have 24 shows right now produced. We've got several in the hopper, and we are still scheduling for May. But every one of these guests are, someone. It's a father, it's a mother, it's a wife, it's a fiance, it's an entrepreneur, um, it's a stroke victim, it's somebody that had a huge injury that came, and overcame that. Somebody that's doing some really cool things in forestry. There's some up and coming basketball officials. Um, and I won't tell you what's coming down the pike, but um, these are all super amazing humans. And I guess the tagline that I use is ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And that gets back to my big vision in that I'm trying to figure out a way to set up some type of revenue share model where X amount of the revenue goes back to my guests as sort of this wealth building ecosystem that I really haven't figured out yet. A certain percentage of the revenue goes back to charity. Um, and even have the ability for our guests to opt out of this and they could donate their share of the revenue going back to whatever charity they would like. Um, I initially started to try to figure this out with a profit sharing model, but that kind of sort of got messy. And after researching it a little bit more, I think I want to go more towards a revenue share model. It's a lot cleaner and a lot quicker and with less regulation. So I wouldn't have to get really any lawyers involved to get this thing off the ground. But I wanted a way to sort of give back. And I try to do some research on some other channels that may be doing some similar things, um, but there aren't any. So I don't know if I would be the first one out there doing something like this. Maybe you can put in the comments if you know of any other YouTube channels or some social media platforms that are doing something like this where they're contributing back to their guests or charity or whatever. Um, but I wanted it as a thank you to grow the channel. Um, I don't see myself as like a Joe Rogan or getting that big, but if I could generate a little bit of revenue to give back to my guests and to, maybe it's as little as a vacation a year. Um, that would be a huge win for me. That as a thank you, I could, somehow provide a vacation for a family that maybe couldn't do it that year, and it's a nice little surprise that my guests could get just for spending an hour or two with me, making a connection, and maybe helping my audience um, go through something and get through a challenge that they're facing. And I think we're all little superhumans that um, we don't give ourselves enough credit for just getting through our everyday lives with our simple roles as a mom, as a dad, as a caretaker, as a husband, as a wife, as an uncle or an aunt, or whatever hat that you're wearing. Um, just getting through the day is it's freaking awesome. And I think we need to celebrate those. And I think this is sort of a mechanism for me to celebrate the people that are doing some pretty cool things. And some of the stories that have come out so far, it's just mind blowing. Um, and it's sort of hard on my end because I'm sitting there asking questions and I'm sort of in awe of these people. Like, how the heck do they get through these things? And I still have to keep going and asking questions. And we also talk about, I'm sort of rambling, so I apologize, but I didn't really have this plan today. It's just kind of off the cuff, from the heart, from the gut, um, that I thought I'd share. And I don't give it any very many opportunities to be alone on these lives, so I thought I'd take advantage of it. So uh, here I am. But as I'm interviewing my guests, the hardest part is if I know the person really well, I don't know how deep to go because I know some of the good, really good stuff, but I know that they don't want that exposed to the whole world. So that's sort of a difficulty that I run into when I'm interviewing my guests. Um, I always tell them we can stay on the surface or go as deep as you want, and sometimes we go pretty deep, and that's pretty cool. But also, we can stay on the surface, and it's still really interesting. But that's sort of one of the challenges that I face. And interviewing strangers are a little bit easier because I feel I can push a little bit more because I don't know what's on the other side of that question. So as we get through kind of outside of my circle, people that I've known for a long time, and I get some of the guests that I don't know really well, or um, they've seen either my channel or I've networked with them or whatever. I've met them at different networking events or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, I want to be on your podcast." Um, Maybe those would be really interesting. I can't wait for that next chapter as this thing evolves. So, one of the things I need your help with is, part of the criteria for getting this YouTube channel off the ground is I need to get to 500 subscribers. That's kind of the minimum threshold. I think we're at 30, which is, it's good. It's good. It's good. 30 is good. But I need your help to get me to 500 um, as soon as possible, so that I can take this next vision of this thing, um, get this vision off the ground. So that's my request for you today. If you want to be a guest, hit me up. I'd love to interview you. There's some talk around um, some guests interviewing me, and I don't know about that because like this is my baby. Like I get really emotional when I talk about this stuff. Um, so we'll see where that goes. But I wanted to come on here today, not talk about real estate because we do plenty of that. I wanted to talk about this channel that has really grown into something that I'm becoming really really proud of, and I hope it's providing some value to you. Um, I know I'm getting tremendous value out of it, and I hope to continue it. But I need folks like you to help me grow it, and it's not going to take very much. I have 1,100 friends on Facebook and a few hundred friends on the other platforms, and if you could just have some you subscribe to it, maybe a family member subscribe to it, we'll get there and we'll be able to do some really good things with it. And if you have any ideas on how to grow this or um, have any ideas on how to improve it, I don't know everything. So if you have some ideas, put it in the comments. And I look forward to having every one of you on my show. Uh, I really enjoy it, and I love making connections, and I love learning from people. So, with that, I'll say adios for now, and we'll be back on tomorrow. Have a great day.